Can you give some examples of how a business that has a product, a good customer base, and they're chugging along very nicely, but they'd like to do a bit more growth, and maybe they need a better product, or maybe they need to talk to more customers or something like that. Can you give some advice for those guys?
I think let's start in a slightly different place, and slightly higher level. I think people might assume, for example, an organization such as Google isn't inherently set up to worry so much about innovation. But actually, if you dig in and you look at what Google actually have set up, is Google as an organization is clearly a hugely successful business, search engine, ad tech company itself, and multiple other things. But if you actually look at it inside of Google itself, they've built a whole bunch of other structures to try to maintain some innovative structure. So they've historically had this thing called 20%, or 20% of their time they're free to do stuff that they want to do. They've built something called Google X. Google X is where they built self-driving cars. That's where they built Google Glasses. They have Google Ventures, which is inherently set up to go and invest in young, exciting new startups. They have something called Google Capital, which is set up to go and invest in things which are strategically important to them, but from outside. I think where I'm coming from is, even for those businesses that you and I might perceive as being innovative in themselves, actually even they are worried about this potential for innovation.
Sure, but I'm sure people watching this would say, well, of course, Google can do it. I mean, they're one of the biggest companies in the world, if not the biggest. They have a lot of revenue to play with.
Yeah, but if you look at someone like Microsoft, who have made a lot of money over an extended period of time around their operating system in Windows Office, what happened next? So I think there is, even in the tech cluster, there's a whole bunch of people who are inherently scared of becoming a one-trick pony. It's not to say that that's the only thing, and clearly for your audience, one of the things I'm trying to describe is even large, innovative companies are worried about this, so they should be also concerned about how they do this. And so essentially, I strongly believe that good SMBs typically have at the core of their business something inherently they're really, really good at. And what is key to it is not to mess around with that too much. I think that essentially becomes a platform on which they build other more novel things. Sometimes that innovation can come from within, and sometimes that innovation can come from outside of the organization by working in collaboration with third parties. So I don't think there's necessarily one magic bullet that suddenly fixes all the problems.